All right. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. All right. So this is what happened last on Monday. Major averages up, Bitcoin down, the Russell 2000 up, the VIX down, the Dow Transports up, major cryptos mixed, the 2, the 10, 30-year up, the long bond up, along with the 30-year fix was over 7%. The 15-year jumbo was up. WTI, Brent crude, natural gas, all up. Gold, copper, silver were mixed, with silver being the only one down. The euro down, the yen was up, the pound was down, the FTSE 100 was down, DAX was down, the CAC was down. Navigation shifting AI back. Threats to chip trading to impact the cost. Supply shocks will be harder to forecast. Netflix is the streaming leader. The commodities energy strategy is giving the market optimism. Commodities are cyclical. Databricks acquired startup Lilac AI to beef up the LLM. India is buying more U.S. oil amid sanctions on Russian energy. NVIDIA's new chip fails to impress and their futures dip. Beijing accuses Evergrande of $78 billion in fraud. Bond yields nearing levels that threaten stocks, says Stanley Morgan. DirecTV is a shave off $12 if you drop local TV. U.S. stocks jump on fresh wave of AI enthusiasm. The SEC is cracking down on investment advisors falsely claiming to use AI. Home prices could be rising higher even if mortgage rates fall, says Bank of America. Goldman Sachs says three rate cuts amid inflation. PubMatic ad spending spike with $1 billion. CPMS caused by server error. Bitcoin ETFs push 2024 crypto funds flow past full 2021 totals. And Coco has crushed Bitcoin's 150% gain. Now the next day, Tuesday, it was Taco Tuesdays for some, Tequila Tuesdays for others, and it's just a thankful Tuesday for the rest of us. What happened? Well, the major averages were up. Bitcoin drops. Major cryptos drops. WTI, Brent crude, natural gas went up. Gold, silver, and copper all dropped. 10-year drop. The FTSE 100, DAX, and the CAC went up. The Russell 2000 went up. The VIX dropped. The Dow Transports went up. The 2, the 10, and the 30-year dropped. The euro dropped. The yen dropped. The yen went up. The pound dropped. The S&P notches a record close. Trian is waging a $25 million war over Disney board seats. JP Morgan just launched a new sports investment baking group. Megatech leads gains ahead of the Fed's decision. Banking loopholes for Russia are closing. Microsoft's new hire improved their AI advancement gains advancement against Google. Stanley Cups have led. Customers should be safe, though. Office owners are on borrowed time as maturities loom. Argentinians are buying Bitcoin as the dollar loses its appeal. Walmart has become America's grocery king. Home prices have risen, and they doubled the pace of inflation since 1960. A rebound in the housing market looks underway. Nvidia has a strong stock outlook after the release of new chips. Threats to the dollar dominance could pose a risk to stocks. MicroStrategy owns 1% of all Bitcoin in the world after its latest buy. Singapore Airlines revamps premium economy perks. Commercial real estate headed for a crash. Risky CLOs under pressure. Low demand. Investors are bullish on the market. 40% see an AI bubble. And there's 4 signs that suggest markets reverse to a bull market. And on Wednesday, the hump day, a lot of action. All right. Major averages started under pressure, then climbed positive. Chewy went up. KB Homes went up. The 2 to 5, the 10 year, the 30 year were all down. The 30-year fix was up. WTI. Oh no, the 30-year average was up. WTI was down. Brent crude was down. Natural gas was down. Major cryptos were up. The 30-year fix, the 30-year jumbo, 15-year jumbo, they were all down. Micron was up. The euro, the yen, and the pound were up. Five Below was down. Intel was up. Broadcom was up. AMD was up. Gold, silver, and copper were up. The Russell 2000 was up. VIX was up. Dow Transport was up. The Fed leaves. Interest rates are steady as officials debate the timing for cuts. The economy is fantastic unless you want a new job, new home, or a new car. Majors end at an all-time high. The Fed holds rates at 5.25%. Option traders are reining in their stock market bets. DOJ reported will file an antitrust lawsuit versus Apple as soon as Thursday. Boeing targets a culprit of 737 MAX productions as traveled work is happening. Berkshire Class B stock outperforms competitors on strong trading day. Jamie Dimon and George Lucas have a common thread that could explain their support for Bob Iger, which is they hold majority of Disney shares. McDonald's, Home Depot share gains that lead the Dow nearly 250-point climb. Nike sets for a rare sales drop with a focus on U.S. direct-to-consumer pivot. Nike third quarter earning predictions focus on strategy and they stray away from innovation with tougher competition and brings fashion to Fortnite. Starbucks is sued by California residents who claim the company discriminates against lactose intolerance consumers. Now, Thursday. It was getting warm, getting hot for the weekend. All right, so the 10-year started at 4.23%. Micron issues a projection that will be 60 million higher, following a 20% higher earnings report. Sterile Lab jumped 70% in their public debut. Major average set to perform higher, Asian markets were performing well because of the Fed speech. The Japan Nikkei hits a new high. The Sydney benchmark is up higher. The yen is stronger from the mega tech. The Hang Seng is a big beneficiary of the solid news. The Swiss SMB is cutting rates. The DAC rate is at 6%. The FTSE 100 struggles. SIM up forecasts 1.4 inflation. Retail and tech with the 2% upside. The French PMI slip. A drop in the Swiss versus the dollar. German Douglas IPO in the perfume business. The Fed is bullish after upgrading growth by 50% and inflation an 8% increase. The probability of growth and bullishness settlement. People were waiting for the all clear for the small caps to have a 2% run year to date. Paramount Global waits to expand their double-digit gains. Cocoa prices are rising so fast they're outpacing Bitcoin. The consulting business is on the rocks. True Social stock price could crash if Donald Trump sells his shares. Wingstop stocks grew 380% in 5 years. Jerry Seinfeld may enter the billionaires club in an unconventional way. Louisa AI, a startup of Goldman Sachs, raised $5 million. Apple takes on the US, the EU, and China in its fight to dominate big tech. And Kathy Wood says Bitcoin could go for $3.8 million. Friday. Mixed majors, WTI, Brent crude, natural gas, all down. Silver, copper, gold, all down. 10-year down. More Gen Zs are more favorable to work in an office. 40% less. 10%. There's 10% less production at full remote workers. Retailers bet on AI and automation to shift their tasks. 30-year fix, the 30-year jumbo, and the 15-year jumbo all down. Lululemon plunges on weakness, down 70%. Broadcom up 20%. Intel up 3%. Merck up. The 2 and the 5 year down. Boeing was up. Constellation Energy was up. Russell 2000 was down. The VIX was down. Dow Transport was up. Major cryptos were down. The euro, the pound, the yen were all down. The FTSE, the DAX, the CAC was mixed, with the CAC being a laggard. American and immigrants are moving to the south. Texas and Georgia are booming. High property taxes are driving thousands from Texas to Mexico. And Gunlock says that AI craze in stocks is like the dot-com bubble. Economic pain ahead. Some are warning of a 50 to 70% S&P decline. Alphabet Verily lays off staff as it continues to slash costs. Stocks mirror the 1929 extremes. NVIDIA's AI nurses take patients' calls, colonoscopy screenings, and nutrition advice for $9 an hour. Bill Gross sees excessive exuberance in AI stocks. Apple considers an AI alliance with China tech giant. Some say Bitcoin price could soar as government has destroyed fiscal stability. High interest rates may actually be helping the U.S. consumer. DWAC stock suffers the biggest drop in 2 months after Trump media merges was cleared. And the tech-heavy NASDAQ notches a record close. Stocks dip, but at the end, notches a weekly win on the Fed rally. Thank you, and I hope you learned a lot and put this knowledge of power.